What are they saying about the intensity, Gary? And I'm going to give you the Shanahan thing. I don't want to belabor the rules because I really think you're in good hands with Coley Campbell. I honestly think he's the one talking sensitive. But there were two items. This was Eric Duhatschek when he said that Steve Walkham obviously said our guys are getting used to this new way. We penalize the act, not the result. That's a big change. Historically, you'd penalize the result of the action. But here in Larry Brooks, your favorite in the New York Post, Brendan Shanahan, we're having a tough time keeping Brendan on message. He was hot at Buffalo earlier in the year. He said, shame on me.
How long ago was that article written?
New Year's Eve.
Okay.
So it's pretty recent. And he said, that being said, there's a disconnect between the league office and some of the referees who don't get it. The critical point that's being missed is some referees, there has to be an infraction that has to occur in order for a penalty to be called. He said there still has to be a foul. He said there's nothing in the rule book that says if one player touches another with his stick, it's 2 minutes for hooking. Nothing in the rule book that says if one player touches another with his hand, it's 2 for holding.
Actually, we wouldn't disagree on the substance. We haven't instructed the officials to take physical play out of the game. The one thing that didn't change, although the standard changed, as you know, being a former official, sometimes you get off nights from officials. Some officials are better than others, and officiating as an art, as a human mechanic with errors in judgment hasn't changed. Our guys are the best, but they're not perfect. We try to make them perfect. We give them constant coaching and feedback. The standard's right. Now, the one thing I'll say is, if you put your stick horizontal, you run the risk that the official's going to make a mistake. And so keep your stick on the ice. It'll be better for you as a player.
Are you sure about, you really believe that? I'm not convinced.
And by the way, the officials believe it, and the competition committee believes it, because they're the ultimate ones who've crafted the rules. Competition committee has supported the standard, endorsed the standard, wanted it, and that's the way the process should be. This has had player and team input.
Well, it's a bit dangerous because, as Brendan said, if we go back, he said 98 of the top 100 guys in the league would be really upset. So he's catering to a minority.
No, he's catering to skill, and the decision was we wanted our skill players to be able to enjoy. Clutching and grabbing, particularly in a system where there were salary disparities, that was the way teams stayed competitive. Now, because of the system we have, the partnership with the players, everybody can afford to be competitive. That's why skill can be emphasized.
What's your fan research saying on that subject? Both the
overwhelming approval.
The
overwhelming approval from our fans. They like the product on the ice. I know not all of our fans like the product on the ice. Not even all of our commentators. But overwhelmingly they support it.
And I'll give you that. I'll even say that, like I said, Coley Campbell seems to know, so I'll give it to you.
Can I fall off the chair? My knees are getting weak from this.
The last point I wanted to touch on was the Russian offer. Now, Alexei Mikhnov of the Edmonton Oilers gone back overseas. Obviously, we had Leeson earlier in the year. We had Tiger Rodolph out of the Ottawa system, now Phoenix property. But that waiver recall situation, $95,000, you make more than that, they can't bring you up without possibly losing you. The fear is guys will go over to Russia. They've now tabled a new offer. Is that true? Have you read it?
I haven't seen it because I've been here, but my understanding is, because we've been in discussions with Renee Fazell and the International Ice Hockey Federation, that they've made a proposal in response to our last discussion to extend our current agreement and at least include the Russians for a year to see how it works out. I haven't looked at the specifics, but I believed all along that this would get worked out, and it will.
Why don't you just run the water on the shirt and as we go to break, this new Reebok sweater, which we all love too, by the way. You can fall off your chair again.
Nice looking sweater, you told me.
Yeah. It's really been a nice All-Star week. Our thanks to Commissioner Gary Bettman. Isn't that unbelievable? Water off a duck's back.
It's going to keep the players cooler, drier, better range of motion, safer. All about performance.
Yeah, but you ruined our computer.
Oh, sorry. But they're good looking too.